a strange picture, but it's because this is Yaqub actually. He's always very serious, and Suleiman, he's always laughing. He's always having a laugh. Yaqub takes everything seriously first, and then he can be a bit sarcastic and fool around. But Suleiman's the opposite. He's always and then he can be serious afterwards, right? And just drawing their pictures, that helped me, right? It did help, and we're gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna give you, because we're talking about people we love, right? Spouse, child, parent. I'm gonna give you a piece of paper. I want you to draw the person or the people who are missing in your life here while in the CELTA course. Okay? It could be like a silly picture like this, or it could be a picture of the house where they live, or it could be the car that they drive, anything you want, just an image that brings them to mind, all right? And then after you've drawn the image, write your name on the top, okay? Take one and pass it along. Take one and pass it along. One and pass it along. Pass.
Should we write their names?
No. Draw their picture.
Can it be something we enjoy?
Yeah. No, it has to be a person. One more minute. Thirty more seconds. Seconds. You guys are artists, my God. I feel embarrassed. My kids would be so upset if they saw this. All right, put your pens down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys stand up. You guys can stand on that side of the room. You guys, take your paper with you, please. You guys stand up. And you go to that side of the room. That's how it is. You guys come here. Stand up. Stand up. Go. That's how it is. Keep going. Stand up. Stand up. No, you're here. There, middle. Stay here. No. Yes. Okay. Okay. Did you write your names on the paper? No. Yeah, write your name. You wrote it? Yeah, write your name on your piece of paper, please.
On the front page or the back?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Is that you?
That's me.
Oh, it is you.
A self-portrait.
That I'm from the United States, right? And I grew up in winters, we have lots of snow, and we have snow fights. And for me, a snow fight isn't a fight, it's just fun. it's expressing my love, our love. You know, you're in a fight with someone, you throw things, and snow, it hits, it crumbles, it's the opposite of aggression, right? It's like love, and that's what we're going to do now. Crumple up your... and you're going to throw, pick up, throw again, pick up, throw again, pick up, go! Keep going, with love, with love, hit him with love, hit him with love, hit him with love, 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 love. Okay, great, well done. Stop throwing. You want to keep throwing, right? Yeah. All right, now you have pieces of paper on the floor. When I say go, you pick up one piece of paper, you uncrumble it, you find the person whose name is on it, and you get them to describe to you who that picture is of on their piece of paper. And you talk about the people you love. Okay? When I say go. Are you going to pick up one piece of paper or more?
One.
How are you going to find the person who drew that drawing?
By name.
Excellent. Go. They're in Spain. They're in Spain. But I still love them. I know we're going to be together. 7 years old. It's not allowed to take it's going to be Okay, everybody sit back down. Sit back down, please. Sit back down. So, I overheard and I saw some pictures. Some of you talked about your cats. Right? Cats are special animals. We see them all over the place. That's how special they are. All over. I think some of you also talked about your partners. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Spouses? Who talked about their spouse? Yes, go ahead.
Spouse to be. Yeah, okay.
That counts too.
Oh, fair enough. Do you want me to tell everybody?
Yeah, tell everybody.
So it's my fiance. We got engaged last summer. Now we're trying to figure out things due to distance, our demanding jobs. She works night shift. I work on Saturday, so we don't see each other often. I haven't seen her for a month, and now due to CELTA, we may not see each other for another month. Yeah.
So it sounds like a star-crossed romance. I mean, lots of obstacles, but lots of love, right?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. There are lots of occasions where you have people who get together against all odds, right? That happens a lot, not just in Morocco, but everywhere. So I'm going to talk to you about my parents. So, mom, dad. They got married, obviously, you can tell that I'm not that young, a long time ago. It was an arranged marriage, and it's kind of like a classic match of city boy with country girl. My mom, she grew up in the countryside with sheep. She herded sheep for years and years. Her father didn't let her go to school. My father was one of only 3 Moroccan boys in a French lycée in Taza. So he got one of the top educations in the country. But when my dad turned 19, he went to his dad and said, "Dad, I want to get married." I said, "What? Now? I want to get married now." And so his dad said, "Okay." And when he found my mom, my dad's a bit impulsive. He divorced my mom 2 months later. But by that point, my mom was pregnant. And so my dad divorced my mom, he went to Cambridge. My mom's family went to see him and said, "Hey man, she's pregnant." He said, "Oh, all right, no problem." And he went back. They got back together again. They had 6 kids. My mom was the most intelligent person I've ever met in my life. She herded sheep when she was a child, but she started businesses, she raised 6 kids, amazing woman. And my dad moved to New York, and they stayed together their whole lives. You know, it was a horrible, horrible marriage in lots of ways, but it was also a wonderful marriage in lots of ways. I'd like you to think about people in your family, or maybe you have a story like Ashraf's story. A couple, maybe just a movie, you know? People who weren't supposed to meet, but ended up meeting, and it worked out. Right? Think about that just for a second. Try to think of a story like that. It can be a book, it can be your cousins, it can be not your cats. Do you want to share?
Yeah.
Share with your partners. You 3 work together? 3? 3? 3? You 3? And you 3. Share, please.
You know a lot about those.
Tell us.
Okay. So back in 2018, I was at this art gallery in Rabat. I was just loitering around the gallery, and I stumbled upon the section of the Roman currencies. And there was this one girl that, from what I saw, she was acutely enthusiastic about the Romans.
That's a beautiful sentence. Okay.
And I started asking a lot of questions about the actual currency because she knew a lot about the Roman history at the time. And we've exchanged numbers after that, and it ended in a bad way.
What, sorry?
It ended in a bad way.
It ended in a bad way.
Yeah.
You got married.
I probably was 15 or 16 at the time.
Right. So you got married too young. Okay, but it's a beautiful beginning of a story. I like that.
Yes.
Do you still know her? Can I have her number? She sounds great. Who else?
It's a novel, it's not my first story. It's about, it's called Raising the Sun by Lawrence Rosemary. And it's about like an amount of money that you're gonna get from the insurance. And it's a family made of mother, son, wife, and sister. And this amount of money is gonna raise conflicts between the family because the son wants to have a liquor store, his mother wants to buy a house, and the sister wants to be a doctor. So this amount will be like the trigger to create conflict within the family instead of unity. And so it's going to create a conflict, and the family will be like dealing with that.
Where's the love?
The love, there is a section between the son and his wife. So she's going to take the side of the mother, and it's going to trigger more conflicts between the couple.
But there is some love there, right? That's what we want. Yeah. Thank you. I want a story with more love than these guys, please. Go on.
Okay, I can share my story. My parents' story. So my parents married for love. They met on one day. It was rainy. My mom, the bus broke. She had somehow to go home, and she was with her friend, and he picked her up. He didn't know her. I don't know. She was. I don't know what she was thinking. Trusting someone she doesn't know. But yeah, he picked her up in his car. They got home. They exchanged phone numbers. They dated for some time.
I know what she was thinking.
Oh, she shouldn't. He's a stranger danger. What happened to that?
Oh.
What happened to that?
Tall, dark stranger kind of thing, you know?
What happened to that? So yeah, so they dated, of course, and they wanted to get married. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, my dad's mom, she was against it, and she really didn't want him to marry. And he really conflicted with her. They fought a lot about this thing. And yeah, he gave her an ultimatum, so it's either he's going to get married to her or not.
Or no marriage at all.
Yes, they got married.
Yeah.
But when they got married, there were still some problems because my grandmother at that time didn't really like my mother.
Yeah.
And after some time, they had me. And I was an only child. I'm still an only child. But his family wanted him to have more kids. So the conflict at that time just became of him. They're like, you have to get married again to get more kids. And yeah, he never did. So, because he did love my mom and loved me. So yeah, he never got married. He was happy with one kid.
That's fantastic. That's the story with the love. And we're going to listen to another story with love in it. Yeah? I'm going to read this story to you. And I want you to listen closely and answer the question which is on the board. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah? It is forbidden love, but that's exactly what has made it so sweet. They had met 2 weeks earlier on the CELTA course. She had been teaching narrative tenses when their eyes met from across the room. He had initially thought her rather plain and boring, and yet there was something about the way she was clarifying MPF that day that made him completely forget his observation task. He would never have guessed that pronunciation drills could be so groovy, or that a timeline could be so titillating. As an added bonus, he's been acing his assignments ever since. So is she a teacher or a student? Excellent, well done. I'm going to read this again to you, right? But the next time I read to you, you're going to do a task which is quite different from normal listening tasks. You're going to try to write down what I'm saying word for word. Do you think you're going to succeed in doing that? No, because it's difficult. You can't write down word for word. You're actually going to end up writing down the keywords.
Do we have to spell them correctly?
No. Do whatever you want. You want to take, but what you're going to do next is work together to reconstitute the story. And when you work together to reconstitute the story, you're putting it back together again, accurately, word for word. So, in the first stage, are you going to try to write down every single word I say? No, just the keywords. But afterwards, in groups, we're going to try word for word, every single word. Okay? Are you ready? It is forbidden love, but that's exactly what has made it so sweet. They had met 2 weeks earlier on the CELTA course. She had been teaching narrative tenses when their eyes met from across the room. He had initially thought her rather plain and boring, and yet there was something about the way she was clarifying MPF that day that made him completely forget his observation task. He would never have guessed that pronunciation drills could be so groovy, or that a timeline could be so titillating. As an added bonus, he's been acing his assignments ever since. I'm going to read one more time. It is forbidden love, but that's exactly what has made it so sweet. They had met 2 weeks earlier on the CELTA course. She had been teaching narrative tenses when their eyes met from across the room. He had initially thought her rather plain and boring, and yet there was something about the way she was clarifying MPF that day that made him completely forget his observation task. He would never have guessed that pronunciation drills could be so groovy, or that a timeline could be so titillating. As an added bonus, he's been acing his assignments ever since. When I put you into your groups, you're going to pool your resources. Attention, please. When I put you into groups, you're going to pool your resources, and you're going to have one person be the scribe and try to write down the whole story word for word the way I said it. All right? So in your groups, how many people are going to be holding a pen in their hand?
One.
Right. Are you going to help that person write down the story? Are you going to help them piece it together so it's accurate word for word?
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. I'm going to put you into your groups now. 4, 4, and 6. Yes. So we have to compare. You have 4 minutes.
No, it's okay. Should I stop the recording for now? Yeah.
I can
trying to get
when their eyes match, okay? So I'm collecting this one.
And we're done. Raise your hands, please. Yeah. I like it. I'm gonna raise my hand. Raise your hand, please, if you've gotten to the end of the story, every single word. Yeah? Wow. You think you got the story now? Okay, that's good enough. You got it. I think you did your best.
Not even close.
Okay, all right, I'm going to give you the story now. Here it is. Is this a story about the present or in past? So, yeah, that's right. There are lots of narrative tenses in the story. When I give you this piece of paper, you're going to read it and compare it to the story that you've got in front of you. Okay? And then you're going to underline each of the verb forms in the story. So each sentence is going to have several. Most of them are going to be in the past. So the first thing you do is it underline the verb form or compare it to your own story. Right, to see how well you did. And then afterwards, you underline the verb form.
It's not or rather plain and more.
Okay, start underlining the verb forms, please. Start underlining past verb forms.
we have to underline the verb and sentence.
Just the verbs.
The narrative ones?
Just the verbs. The narrative.
The narrative.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every time we see a word, right?
not all the time.
Past tense.
Yeah, all the past tense. Yeah, narrative tense. Anything that's not narrative tense. All right. Everybody look up, please. Up here on the board. What do you call that object I just drew? That's correct, yeah. Can you tell me which sentence from the text corresponds to this timeline?
You had been AC?
No.
No.
It is.
Had met.
What?
Has me. Has me.
Also the exit, that means it's not continuing to the past.
Continuing from the past until the present.
He's been ace and assignments every time.
That's true as well.
Every
So both are possible.
It is for Snowball.
Sorry?
It is for
But that's what has made it so sweet. So
Made all.
from the beginning of their love affair, 2 weeks ago, until now, it's continuous. Is this a continuous tense? No. But even so, the meaning is that the action or the situation has continued from the past until the present. So you can see that we can use timelines to illustrate the meaning of narrative tenses, right? You are now going to use this text to help you draw timelines for 4 different narrative tenses. Yeah? You're not going to do all 4, you're only going to do 2 of them. You know what your letters are, right?
Yes.
If you're A, B, and C, you do numbers 1 and 2. D, E, and F, you do 3 and 4. Right? So if you're A, please raise your hand. Which one are you going to do? 1 or 2 or 2 or 4? Okay. If you're F, please raise your hand. 1 or 2 or 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to do all of them or only 2 of them? Some of these sentences have more than 1 tense in them. Yeah? If you have more than 1 tense, can you still use a single timeline? Yeah, absolutely. Some tenses, some narrative tenses, require 2 different events, right? Or 2 different forms. So if you have a sentence with 2 different verb forms in them, you're going to put them in the same timeline, okay? So for each of these, how many timelines are you going to draw? 1 or more? Just 1. You're never going to draw more than 1 timeline for each number, okay? Are you going to work alone or in pairs? That's correct. Initially, you're going to work alone. Any questions? take your piece of paper in one hand, take your pen in the other hand. And you're now going to find and regroup with the people you teach with. So ABC from group 1, ABC from group 2, and ABC from group 3. You get together. DEF from group 1. Wait. Don't move yet. DEF from group 2 with DEF from group 3. No, so group 1 with DEF. Okay. How big are these groups going to be?
6.
No, there are 3 people each.
Yes.
Everyone from group 1 who's ABC from group 1 work together. DEF from group 1 work together. Okay. How big are the groups? Yeah. If you are letter E, who are your partners going to be? If you're letter E. That's correct. From your TP group or a different TP group? From the same TP group. You're going to get together with the people you teach with in TP. Right? Right? So are you going to work with people? Are you going to work with people from your TP group or a different TP group? If you're letter B, who are your partners? If you're letter D, who are your partners? Okay? Get up, find your partner and sit back down. Very good.
I was waiting for the bus when my friend came. We were trying to he forgot the red ID.
And now, take your piece of paper, take your pen. In the same TP group, A with D, B with E, C with F. In the same TP group. How big are these groups going to be? How big?
2.
That's good. Get up now, find your partner. A, B. Can I have your attention, please? Can I have your attention? The 4 timelines are on the board. They're not in the right order. Try to match them to the correct one with your partner. I'll help you.
Okay.
This is number 4. Try to decide which timelines, which sentences these timelines go. Look with your partner.
Here, I have 2 actions in this. One of them because of probably wants to the first one is what we have
They had met 2 weeks earlier on the CELTA course. How many events?
Two.
Are they both in the past?
Yes.
Yes, one before another.
Sorry?
One before another.
That's correct, very good. The one that happened first, do we use the past participle had with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
She'd been teaching narrative tenses when their eyes met.
An action was in progress and then they get interrupted.
She had been teaching narrative tenses. Is this in the past?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a past event that happened before another past event?
Yes.
It was happening before.
That's correct. Action in progress in the past before another past event. Number 3. She was clarifying MPF that day that made him completely forget. How many events do we have here?
Two.
Does one event interrupt or happen in the middle of the other?
In the middle.
Yeah. She was clarifying MPF. That made him completely forget. Is one action longer than the other?
Yes.
Which of the actions, the long one or the short one, has a continuous form? Very good. As an added bonus, he's been acing his assignments ever since. Are we talking about the present or the past or both?
No, it started in the past.
Say that again, please.
It started in the past and
It's
it's
still
still
going.
Present. Excellent. Very good. In your same pairs right now, I'd like you to try to name each of the tenses. Okay? 2 minutes, name the tenses.
That they
The ice mask, that's fast.
In sentence. One. What is the name of the verb tense? That's perfect. Number 2. What is the name of the verb tense number 2?
Past perfect continuous.
You guys have done this before, I can tell. And number 3?
Past continuous. And then past simple.
Number 4 is?
Present perfect continuous. He was vacationing. He had present perfect continuous. He had.
We have a misunderstanding.
This is it, number 4.
We're looking at the numbers in parentheses. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
We're looking at numbers in parentheses. Number 1 is past perfect. Number 2 is past perfect continuous. Number 3 is? Number 4 is? Past continuous. Number 5? And number 6? Excellent, very good. Look at me, everybody, and repeat after. No, repeat this. Listen close. They met. How many words are there?
3.
Right? They met. How many words?
2.
It sounds like 2, right? In fact, I didn't say they met. They met. But when I say it quickly, it sounds like 2 words or 3 words. So,
4 now.
they met. They're very close. Do we hear the H?
No.
No, we don't. Everybody look at me. Repeat after me. They met.
They met.
They met.
They met.
They met.
Excellent.
They met.
Oh, yes. Again.
They met.
I'm sorry, Danielle, I was actually thinking. But I'm happy that you said what you said. It was very good.
They met.
Excellent.
They met. They met.
They met. They met. So what's tricky about this is that that's the syllabus, the schwa. They met. It's not they met. They met.
They had. Okay. They met. Ah, they had.
They met.
Excellent. Very good. Listen to me. She had been teaching. She had been teaching. How many words?
She had.
Right. Which word is the loudest? Listen. She had been teaching.
Teaching.
Right. So the stress is on the main verb or the auxiliary verb? Yeah. Repeat after me. She'd been teaching.
She'd been teaching.
She'd been teaching.
She'd been teaching.
She'd been teaching lovely children.
She'd been teaching lovely children.
Just like us.
Just like us.
You are lovely children. So what we're going to do now is some practice. You have sentences. I want you to put the verbs in parentheses in the correct form in each sentence. Okay? I'm going to give you 1 minute because I think you guys are pretty awesome. And I think you can do it in 1 minute. Do you guys feel that you can do it in 1 minute? It's going to take me a minute to hand this out. Yeah, yes. Check your answers with your partner.
So from the time they got married,
Sometimes when it's run out of imagination, you know. Love you do. You know I love you. I'll always be true. So please love me do. Check your answers. Any questions? That's love, man. Okay. Is this a controlled practice task or a clear practice task?
a controlled practice.
Correct. She has written. She has written. Control.
Let me ask the question again so everybody can hear the question. Is this a controlled practice or a freer practice task? Usually does controlled come first or freer?
Control.
And it's usually followed by freer practice. So we don't have time for you to do the freer practice task, but what I would ask you to do is think back to this beautiful couple here. Imagine that it is the year 2030 and write their story. What has occurred in their lives in the past 5 years since they met?
Individually?
Sorry?
Individually?
You would write it either individually or in pairs and groups, depending on how much time we have left in the lesson and what the priorities are. I'm not going to ask you to do it because we don't have time. The idea, though, being that I give you another task where you practice using the language freely. So that freer practice task, write their story after they've met past 5 years, 2030. What does that task have in common with this task? What do they have in common? Very good. And what else?
It makes you think about the senses you're going to use.
It's in the past.
What else?
It's a sequence.
What else?
It's the story.
Sorry?
It's a story.
About what? Are both stories about love?
No.
These are stories about love, right?
Yeah, there are.
Except for the toilet paper.
Yeah.
And the freer practice task also is a story about love, right? What's this about?
No.
When I gave you the lead-in task, what was it about? Do you remember what the lead-in task was?
Yeah.
What was it? Talk about...
People.
No, that was the warmer, but we'll talk about that in a second. The lead-in task was...
A love story about people who couldn't have met star-crossed.
Exactly. Did I give you an example of that task? So I demonstrated the speaking task before I asked you to do it, right? Did every single part of this lesson have to do with romantic love?
Yes.
What do we call, what's the technical name for the subject or the theme of a lesson? Context. Yeah? Was the context of this lesson the same from the very beginning until the end? When I had you pick up the snowballs and throw them at each other, were you thinking about love?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't romantic love yet, but we moved into romantic love. Did I present language in this lesson? Right? I did present language. Where did that language come from?
The stories.
Yeah. I told, so you listened to it, and then you also you read it. You read the story.
Underline.
Here, right? What do we call the lesson framework that corresponds to what we did just now? The specific name for this lesson framework.
Contextualization.
So that's a technique, but it's not the name of the framework. I'll give you a hint. It has the word text in it.
Text-based.
So it's a text-based language presentation. And we went over just now the stages of a text-based language presentation, didn't we? We started a bit late, so I think we still have a bit of time. We have about 5 minutes left, considering that we started 5 minutes late. What I'd like you to do is, with your partner, think back to the very beginning of the lesson and try to think of the stages that we went through in this lesson. We're going to start with the lead-in. Okay, you remember what the lead-in task was? Star-crossed lovers, tell a story, someone you know, or a book. What are the following stages? Talk to your partner and try to figure it out.
Yeah, but we still not reaching because when we were before
Very fast.
Reading or listening?
Listening.
That's correct. When I read the story. This technique, where you listen to a story and then in groups you try to piece the story back together, has a name. It's called dictagloss. It's also called grammar dictation.
What do you call it?
Dictagloss or grammar dictation?
Do you remember what I asked you to do for the noticing?
Yes, underline the verbs.
Say it again louder, please.
Underline the verbs in the past.
Excellent.
Highlight target.
Exactly. We highlight it in the text. I said underline all the narrative tenses. So you zero in on those. What did we do for meaning?
The time?
Excellent. Yeah. Did you work alone or together?
Together.
What did,
Sir,
yeah.
I didn't catch the noticing part. What do we do?
Say it again, Bilal, please. Tell him, turn around.
To underline the verbs in the past.
Oh, okay.
So a noticing task can be just about anything. The goal is for the students to become aware of the language in the text. And this is important because in a text-based presentation, the text carries everything, including the context. What did we do for form? Do you remember?
Write the sentence?
No, it's actually when I told you to name the tense.
Just name it.
Right, okay, name the tense. So this is a very light focus on form because we didn't have a lot of time. Normally, I would break the words, break the sentences down, the marker sentences, break them down to subject, verb, etc., positive, negative, question form, right? And what did you do for pronunciation?
When we practice
Where was I standing? Why was I standing there? Do you know?
To shift the focus from what you've written on the board.
Why did I want you to focus on me instead of focus on the board?
to listen to the pronunciation.
Very good. Because if you're reading while drilling, you read it the way it's written, and you don't listen. So we want our students to listen and not read. Therefore, we either stand in a different part of the room, or we cover the target language when we're drilling. So I didn't just say repeat after me, right? I said I modeled the language. What did I do after I modeled the language?
You asked
Asked all of us
individuals to
to,
repeat.
No. Before the
you
drilling.
asked all of us to.
Before the drilling, before I asked you to repeat.
You asked us how many words are in there.
Yes. Very good. Say it again.
How many words were in there?
Why did I ask you that?
To put pressure on the ones we don't hear?
No, that's not why.
To recognize the difference.
To recognize, you also call it awareness raising, to raise your awareness of the features of pronunciation that are useful for you. So I've come up with my own acronym for this, all right? I can never remember it exactly, but I think I showed you guys yesterday, right?
Yes.
Radic.
Radic.
Take
E-C?
L-E-K.
No.
Error correction.
Radic.
L-E-C.
Error correction.
Oh, yeah, yes, easy.
All right. This is, right, no, model. So I say the language, right? R-A. Exactly. And I raise awareness by listening from you the features of pronunciation I want to focus on. How many words? Do you hear every single consonant? Which syllable is stressed? So I'm talking to you about the language. And then I mark it up on the board. It has to be visual so you can take notes. And then drill,
Pronunciation.
and then error correction. Drill is I say it, you repeat. If I hear a mistake, I correct your mistakes. Right. There's this book by Roman Gary where he talks about murder. This is a word in Serbo-Croat. which means deaf. And he says, this is the most death-like word in the human condition. Anyway, let's forget about that. We're at it.
Right.
And then we have practice controlled with fear.
Excuse me.
Yes.
A stands for what exactly?
This is raise awareness. We've gone a little bit over time, guys, but I want to hold you back just for a couple of more seconds because I want to focus on this. A text-based presentation's main advantage over other ways of presenting language is how strong the context is. It's strong because we have a text that the students understand. We learn language through context. We remember things through context. We don't remember abstract concepts. We can learn them, but most people forget them within a few hours because they don't have meaning. It's too abstract. This story about the CELTA trainer and her lover, you got that, right? It's a female CELTA trainer and her lover. It's not a true story, by the way. Honest to God, it's never happened, believe me. All right, good. This story is going to stick in your minds, and the language that goes with the story sticks with your minds. And that's why text-based presentations are the preferred language presentation method in most course books written today. If you look at the course books that you're using on this course, you'll notice that the overwhelming majority of language lessons use a text-based presentation. Because they stick, because they have meaning, because they're fun, right? And who doesn't like a love story? Love stories are great. Any questions?
Yes,
Right, yes.
for the task-based. So even if we don't give them a text and just listen, it's going to have the same effect.
A text can be oral or written.
Okay.
Right? So when I did the dictagloss, the grammar dictation, that was a text, but you listened rather than read. Other questions?
I don't know. Like, can it be just a visual, like a storyboard?
Well, that's a different framework, right? We call that situational. We'll cover that a little bit later in the course, but it's different. It's not the same if there's no text. Other questions? Yes?
If we build our lesson based on a marker sentence, would it be boring?
Boring?
Yeah.
Were you bored?
No. If I build my lesson on a marker sentence, not
You mean instead of the
yeah,
text?
instead of the text.
Can you guys, sorry, I want you to listen to this question, please. Can you ask it again?
I said, if I want to build a lesson based on a marker sentence instead of a text, is it going to be boring for students?
So what you're talking about is a situational presentation, and that's what you were talking about as well. We're going to cover that later on in the course. It's not necessarily boring, no. The marker sentence must come from the students, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's a technique in itself. Other questions?
No.
Okay, great. Bye. Have a nice evening.